Okay, here we are. Try number 2 with this here Avalanche. So if you're one of the like 10 people who watched this video before I took it down the first time, then you already know. But essentially what's going on here, I'm gonna fire it up real quick. The starter's acting up a little funny, so we're gonna have to replace that soon. But essentially what's going on with this here Avalanche is the cylinder 1 died on it. It's got 100 or had 198,000 miles on it. It's really low on compression. Instead of trying to rebuild the engine or do anything else, we just bought a donor truck. The donor truck had 100,000 miles on the powertrain, so we swapped the engine and the transmission. The issue is the engine that came in the donor truck was not a flex fuel, and the engine in this Avalanche was. So there's 2 ways you can go about solving this problem. You can swap the intake over from the flex fuel engine onto the non-flex fuel, then everything should work fine. The differences are there's a larger injector, and then down on the fuel rail underneath on the frame is a sensor on this year model that determines what kind of fuel is in the engine or in the fuel tank. At some point they swapped over and they used the O2 sensors to determine what kind of fuel you're running. I don't know when they made that change, so you'd have to Google that if you have a later model. But in the case of this one, it has a sensor on it and it has larger injectors, and that's the only difference. So if you swap the intakes over, everything will run fine. Or you can do what I did. So originally I was going to swap over the Silverado PCM. The problem with that is if you use TIS 2000 or TIS to web to reprogram it, it's just going to add the Avalanche parameters to it. So in order to keep everything the way it was, I ended up doing it in HP tuners. It's a pretty simple deal as long as you have the original stock file. At first we thought the computer could compensate for the different size injectors. That's the word I got from a few GMers, but turns out it couldn't. It was thrown a lean code, so I had to change the fuel maps over from the Silverado PCM to the PCM of the Avalanche. But it was really easy, copy paste, since I had both of them, which I will show you here in a second. But yeah, overall it's running great. No check engine lights, fuel trims are perfect, and they maintain perfect. So what happened the first time, we thought we had it all figured out. The fuel trims look great at idle, but if you look at the maps, they're very, very similar. There's just certain throttle position ranges where they differ greatly, and then once you hit those, then you'll run lean. So that's why you got to swap the maps over. But I'll be right back with you, and I'll show you how I did it on HP tuners. And then if anybody needs the base file, this is a 2005. I'll be happy to share it with you. Just comment down in the comments and I'll find a way to get it sent to you. But yeah, it's running fantastic, man. Just took a little bit of tuning. All right, here we are back at the computer on HP tuners. Again, sorry, I can't screen capture quite yet, but I do have the equipment in order to do so if I need it in the future. In the meantime, I'm gonna try and make this pretty quick. So the first things first, this is the stock Avalanche file. This is what was running flex fuel. So the first things we're going to do to deactivate it is we're going to go to the engine tab, open that puppy up, and then in here you'll see this flex fuel tab over here. Click that. This drop down, click disabled. Then second step is to go to engine diagnostics, pop open this here screen. It's like, oh, I can never remember what the codes are. Here they are. So you got P178 and P179 right here. So you want to disable those on the SEC enable, and then on the drop down click no error reported. Now once you get through that, the injector size difference made it to where the fuel maps weren't quite the same. So what I did is I went up here to this compare, opened a compare file, opened the stock file I scanned off the Silverado, and then went through and changed everything that was different here. So you'll see you have different maps throughout here and all kinds of different territories. Airflow, I don't think, but if you go into fueling, you'll find a ton of stuff. In general, here. Basically, I did everything in the fueling category. So open loop stuff, lean fuel wasn't a big deal, power enrichment was the same. So basically open loop and general are the only tables that you have to adjust. Because we have the Avalanche and not a Silverado, the transmission tuning is different as well. I left it as the Avalanche because it's actually heavier than the truck. So I just left that tuning the same, and it's been absolutely perfect. If you go over here to fuel system, obviously this is the size of your tank and gauge adjustment. So I left all that the same for the Avalanche. But I basically just copy and pasted the Silverado tables over. I am not a tuner by any means. So I just literally copied what the engine used to run on, copied it over to the Avalanche file, saved it, uploaded it, and it's been running absolutely perfect. So it's as simple as that. If you don't have the donor computer, there's no big deal. I'll just comment in the comment section and I'll be happy to try and send you the file that I have. I can send you the old file and the new file. Just keep in mind, this one's 2005 Silverado and a 2005 Avalanche. There are changes in the future one. I don't know when they swapped things around, but I think it was maybe 2008 or 2009. That'd be worth a Google though. Don't take my word on that. But yeah, all in all, it's pretty simple, especially if you have the donor computer. If not, like I said, I'm sure you can find someone to pull their file down and send it to you off the same engine that you've gotten. But either swap the intakes or do a quick little bit of tuning. This cost $100 because I already have HP tuners. If you buy the program itself, I can't remember how much we paid for that, but maybe $400 or something. I really like having it though. It's very, very handy. And this is the second time I've been able to use it, and I'm sure there'll be more times in the future. So good luck. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments and I'll try and answer. Thanks.